Finally, Devon Larratt has accepted the challenge and he's ready to become the #1 arm wrestler in North America. The opportunity will be presented to him at Arm Wars in January 2024. We all know that Devon is the current super heavyweight champion of the world. So what is this #1 in North America thing about? Well, we are talking about a left arm super match against none other than Corey the Gorilla West at Arm Wars. More about the event will be discussed in the later part of this video. So please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Devon's right is insane. It's the best that it has ever been. We can say the same about his left as well, but it's still not at the level of his right. And that's why if we go at the In the Hook rankings of North America, we have Devon sitting at number 3 behind Cody Spur Merritt, and leading the pack is Corey the Gorilla West. Well, there can be some issues about that because Cody Spur Merritt recently beat Corey the Gorilla West, so maybe he should be on the top. But either way, both are above Devon as of now in these rankings. So who should be the favorite to win this match? Let's go back a little bit. On 25th of June 2022, Devon tore his right bicep against Levan Saginashvili. The next day, he was already back on the arm wrestling table with his left arm, while his right arm was in a self-made sling from his green hoodie. I still wonder till this date why there was no medical attention given to Devon after his bicep tear at King of the Table 4. Well, either way, Corey West was beating Devon up pretty bad on the left arm. And there can be many reasons for that. Number one, that Corey West was just way too strong. But the more likely reasons were, number two, no training on the left arm for Devon because he was preparing for the right arm super match, which was the biggest super match in his life against Levan Saginashvili. And number three, which is probably the biggest reason, is Devon Larratt's injury on the right. Even with the sling, you can isolate the bicep only that much. When you go hard on the left, still your right arm is going to hurt because the bicep injury was less than 24 hours ago. So that is going to hurt. And that's why maybe Devon's left was at 80%, 90%, who knows. And that is never going to be enough against Corey West. And another thing which is really interesting is that this is the first time that I ever saw, at least at that level, someone downplaying the strength of their arm. Usually everyone kind of overinflates their strength numbers, but Devon did the exact opposite in 2020 and 2021. And I think along with all of us, he himself started to believe that his left arm is no good. It's probably not even top 10, top 15 in the world. Whenever there was a conversation about matches between Devon and Corey or Devon and Cody Merritt, Devon used to laugh them off saying that those guys are going to kill his left arm. And he believed that at that time, and so did we. But right now, I don't think it is true anymore. Once Devon started competing on the left in 2022 and in 2023, we got to see that even his left is top 10 in the world. Especially when he hits that King's move on the left, there are only handful of people who can challenge Devon's left arm. So let's discuss this match. On June 23rd, right before King of the Table 7, Devon realized for the first time that he can actually beat Corey West's left arm. From what we see in this practice pull, this air pull, this knee pulling, whatever you want to call it, well, arm pulling on the knees, elbows on the knees, it's difficult to judge anything from there. But Devon got all the info that he needed to analyze that he can actually beat Corey West. We have seen both of them practice against Alex Cordecha as well. And the only thing that we can assess from those practice pulls is that none of them are at Alex Cordecha's level. Maybe not even today. Cordecha pinned Devon about 16 times before Devon got the stop, and those pulls were non-stop so that Cordecha couldn't get any rest. Basically, in a super match format, when he gets like a couple of minutes rest between every single round, I think he could have pinned Devon as many times as he wanted. If you asked me the prediction of Devon versus Corey about 1 year ago, I wouldn't have taken a second before I said Corey West is going to beat Devon up pretty bad. And I think Devon would have said the same as well. But right now, I don't think so. And especially because of these following reasons. Everyone expected Corey West to lose to Artem Morozov. But at least I didn't expect him to lose that badly. Morozov was top rolling his wrist like a child. Basically, he couldn't give any resistance at all to Artem Morozov's arm and his hand power. After that, we saw Corey West lose to Cody Merritt as well. Before that, Corey broke his hand and that's how he beat him so easily. But Cody also took his revenge. And we have seen Cody lose at East versus West. So maybe Corey's level isn't that great. Maybe it's outside of top 10 in the world. Then in the past, we have seen some practice pulls with Travis Bagent when Corey was just making a name for himself in 2021, I think it was. At that time, Travis was able to slightly crack his wrist back. Then the recent practice pulls with Pavlo. Pavlo was also able to do something with his wrist. So it seems to me that the way to beat Corey West is through his wrist. And who is the best in the world at taking people's wrist? Devon Larratt. That's why I believe Corey is going to run into some big troubles while facing Devon. Maybe he gets a pin or two, but I think Devon cracks that wrist and immediately Corey is going to get gassed out. We have seen him show up in terrible shape at King of the Table. I hope it isn't the case this time. I hope he loses at least 50 pounds before showing up for a super match against Devon, and even then it may not be enough. So the event is going to be at Arm Wars in USA, and that's the famous venue that we always wanted to see from Neil Pickup. The Vegas MGM Grand on the top of that building where we have seen Devon compete in the past as well. I think this is one of the biggest news coming from Arm Wars. Usually I criticize them heavily, but this is the format that we always love to see. And you can judge it by the number of views that the videos got even back in the day when Devon competed there. So I hope it's a success, it's a hit once again. Initially, Neil was thinking about making it a battleground. Maybe he wanted to invite Cody Merritt as well. I don't know who the fourth guy would have been. But right now, that idea seems to be dropped. John Brzezinski is also going to be there. That's interesting because John kind of hinted that he's not going to compete at Arm Wars. Maybe he saw something this time and I hope he competes there. Ron Bath is going to be there. Jerry Big Daddy Cadret is going to be there. The event is going to be one of the biggest that year for sure. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.